Hello friends, this is Joseph and Train from HoS Sound. The idea of HoS Sound is very simple. We want to help artists, promoters, and other people in the scene to share their message, their experiences, their learnings, and life lessons. And as a byproduct, we hope that some of these insights will help and inspire others. And that's exactly why we're gonna have chats and ask questions to some of the most interesting people in the scene. We hope you will enjoy. Next conversation is with VSK. VSK is a DJ, producer, and a live performer currently based in Berlin. He started his journey in Rome, Italy, where he co-founded CRS with Conrad Van Orton. He has an impressive discography spanning from his very own first label CRS to Mord, Soma, 47, Pack Tracks. He's just released an EP on Mord called Grida e Chaos. Lately, he also launched his own label VSK Series, which just released his first VA on vinyl. The VA includes a track by VSK himself, together with Michael Jablonski, and other 3 tracks, one by Anson, one by Quartz, and one by Flaminia. VSK has been performing around Europe a lot, and is also resident of Berlin-based party Disconnect. He is a regular of Backtracks and 47 showcases. His unique style and terrific technical ability make of VSK a great producer and a great artist. If you're a DJ and you're into techno, I'm pretty sure you have played some of his tracks. What we explore in this podcast are a few things. Why it's important for artists to push themselves and release music? Why creating your label and artist roster matters? How to get balance with life beyond music? We also explore trends in the music scene and how social media affects what people like and what people don't like. Without further ado, I wish you will enjoy this chat with VSK. Francesco, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Nice. We're here at your showcase of the new label. Do you want to tell us a bit more about the project, how it came about in your mind? What are your plans?
Yeah, it was from a long time that I really wanted to open a new label, a project completely mine. I already have the CRS label, but it was with Conrad Van Orton and Felix, and it was the first project. And we started this label just for releasing our music at the beginning. It was just digital. It was like 2010, something like that.
Almost 10 years ago.
Almost 10 years ago. And it was just really the beginning of VSK. The first release as VSK was on this label. It was a split with Conrad Van Orton. And it gave me the experience to reach a level. Now I'm more confident on what I'm doing after 10 years. I'm still in amazing contact with Conrad Van Orton, of course, and it's gonna release for sure on the label. I would like, of course, to have him, but it really needed to have something mine, completely mine. So, and that's it. Now it's time for me to also. I would like to build a kind of roster. There are some artists maybe. That I really like Flaminia and Michael Jablonski, and it would be great to build a team, a crew of the label, and that
you can continue to push.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely.
How important it is for you for an artist, let's say for the producers that are listening, how important for them to have a label, to have their own label that they can use? And
I think it's really important because when a producer has their own label, he really, from the graphic, from the point of view of communication and the music, of course, you can be completely yourself on your label, and it's the easier way to reach a public and with no filter, because it's amazing also to release on other label. If you like, I don't know, some producer, some other label, it's great to release them. But when you have your own label, is completely different, the feeling. So you have everything under your control, and that's great, I think.
Yeah, and, absolutely.
So it's really important. For me, it's really important that a producer build their own label.
Yeah, and then from there it can become a roster of artists.
Oh, roster. It's also important to build first a sound. I think I'm still working on my sound, of course, but after more than 10 years of producing, I think I reach a characteristic sound, and so that's really connected to a label. So so first it's more important to have a personal sound, and of course after also to build a roster.
Yeah.
So
which is in a way is an extension of your sound. Like
exactly.
Like the artist, you pick people who are like they fit with that sound, and you help them push their own music as well.
Exactly.
We were talking before about Bas Moy from Mord now.
Yeah, good.
He's built a lot. He had a previous label called Audio Salt. We were saying
we were saying that is maybe it's my favorite label, Techno label. It's still the music is still, I think it's still super fresh, still super modern, and the last release was like more than 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's definitely one of my inspiration of. Yeah. And it was from the beginning actually. Yeah. So I knew Bas Moy from Audio Salt actually. So,
and it was amazing. Like they used to do these records very fast, very very punchy, and stuff that actually you play still and.
But also a lot of break. Yeah, the music is fast there on this label, but it's also really hypnotic and mental. It's not just full of sound and really hard. There is a lot of behind of this hard groove, also sometimes with distortion, there is the real techno soul. Also Mord is a great project, but Audio Salt was really forward at the time actually.
Yeah, because when they started like more than almost 20 years ago, when was that, 2000?
Yeah, more or less, there was a really important chapter for techno actually.
Yeah, and then it evolved and progressed to Mord, and Mord is his own project now.
Mord is one of the biggest label out. At the end, there is still great music. I play a lot of every set music from this label, from Mord label, and it's a great pleasure. I released there for the first time with Scalameria in AVA. It was 3 years ago, and I have this kind of idea because when I play a lot of tracks from a label, I want to release on this label.
Makes sense.
It makes sense, no? Because it's a kind of permission to, it's a personal thing. And so we are friends with Bas. We play a lot of time together, and I sent to him some demos, and he really liked it. And
he liked it,
it was great. Actually.
And you released actually very recently. You did one, I think it's called Grida and Chaos.
The piece Grida and Chaos. No, it's great also because maybe the general opinion about Mord is that they release a lot of industrial and banging techno, and actually in my case on my EP, the most easy track on the EP, the most banging track, and is Meccanismo di Reazione, for example, and they are digital. So Grida Chaos, the main track of the EP, is break and not experimental, but more sound design, not really banging techno. Is on vinyl, and also Coniugazione e Dissonanza,
which is my favorite.
It's super. It's still dance floor, but it's not super banging, and it's also on the vinyl. So it's great that he chose this track for the vinyl actually, and
it is because he brought like I really feel that it's your style. Like
exactly.
The VSK style.
And last year for Mord was one of the best year of the label. The release from Shek. It's the name. It's really hard to pronounce. And Un release and Tensal, the VA from the big VA from the file recording from Rotterdam, and great also. Pearl release is great. It was really an amazing year for this label.
Yeah, and it does feel that it's a label that is evolving, like as well.
Yeah, definitely. But Bas is a master. It was not. He's one of the pioneer of techno, definitely. Since 20 years, I think, more than 20 years.
It's been around for a long time. As a lot of people respect him as a person.
The DJ set is great, and also he's a really cool person. But like an artist, DJ, I have a huge respect for him.
I think a lot of people do. He seems to be a very nice person as well. From the little I know of him. How important is for you when you start a new project, a label, or you have people you're releasing on their label to get to know them as people? Do you connect with them before the music, or usually the music and then you start having they become friends after you release on their label, after you release on your label?
So you mean, sorry, to release on a big label, you mean?
So maybe two questions. Let's break it down into how important it is for you when you're working with someone, let's say Bas, to have a personal relationship.
It's for sure it helps, but it's not. It's a nice question, but it helps to have a personal contact, of course. But it's also we are talking about music, and maybe it's the best things is the music. So sometimes you don't really need to know the person. You need to you have to like the label, the music, the producer, and so it's of course sometimes it's nice that you know also person, you like the person, but first it's more important that you like the artistic direction or the artist himself.
It is. It's I think music comes first in the end.
You want that. It should be in this way. Actually.
And I mean, you release you have an impressive discography. You release on your label.
Thank you.
CRS, you have some of the biggest labels under your belly. Like you released on 47, Soma. Now your label.
I feel really happy about it.
The music is good, so.
Some people say
I personally really like it. I play a lot
you.
of your tracks. I really find the sound really be spot on.
Thank you very much.
It's a nice feeling to play them. And what is a suggestion that you think producers should follow when they're starting out? Let's say they have their first batch of tracks, they have it, they're kind of feeling like, this can be played out.
So it's really hard to. So I'm still not happy about my music. I always want to make something different, and I never made something that I really wanted. So, and it can be tricky because, for example, I release some tracks, and sometimes I'm really tired. I say, no, this is a shit. Why is releasing now? After a while, maybe after 1 year, I'm really happy that it was released actually. But sometimes you need to push yourself and say, okay, that's what I did. It's my music. Of course, maybe I wanted to make something different, something better, but it's impossible to be like perfect. Or sometimes other people. And so in your music, something that you can see on your music. So that's the main thing. So sometimes you need to push yourself and say, that's what I did. Of course, sometimes you make shit and that's shit. But it's really important to, even if you are not ready, and you need just to release and everything.
In terms of your process when you release music, do you get feedback from friends before you release it?
Yeah, of course, But also sometimes the feedback from friends can be tricky because some people say that I like this, I don't like that, and So yeah, of course, it's important that you share music with friends, with people you respect and you trust on their opinions, of course. But yeah, for sure, it's important.
Yeah.
But it can be also sometimes it can be also tricky because you can have completely different point of view about
yeah, as long as it doesn't keep you stuck. People say no, and then you lose the release time.
But it's normal actually. Yeah. But yeah, it's the main things is you need to push yourself. To release music because that's what you did. That's what you was feeling in that moment, and it's your music. So that's it.
And as you said, I think being producers, like we will never be completely happy with.
It's impossible. Really, it's almost impossible. No, almost impossible.
Yeah.
Maybe after a lot, but always because, for example, now I feel more confident on producing, but I also want maybe to reach a personal higher level of production. So everything is it changed. I feel more confident, but I want to do better.
Yes.
So it's hard actually.
Yeah. And it will always evolve.
We have to evolve actually. Music is it's art, and art in general is evolution actually.
Yes.
Needs to be actually evolution.
Needs to be, otherwise like if you don't grow it, like you're not happy at some point, you're doing the same things over and over, and it feels like you're stuck.
It can be, especially electronic music can be really repetitive, like actually it's pretty repetitive. It's really, but if you don't also sometimes change style or try something different from the past, what you did in the past, it's important, like to experiment, to make something new. It's something cool actually.
And that brings innovation in your own sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you feel like you get inspiration a lot from techno or from outside of techno?
Depends. I think I personally really like techno. I like a lot of music in general, of course. I don't listen just techno. I have a lot of influence from music in general, but I want to be focused on techno. I want to because techno is weird, my relationship with techno, because it's of course music, but it's different. It's different from rock or jazz. It's completely a different concept, and I. Also in the label, in the new label, the main concept is techno with some influence, but it has to be techno. I like when, for example, there is ABM recently, the ABM influence on that's cool, of course. But I'm more focused on what is techno, what is sound design, maybe sound design, but also the word techno. It means technology needs to. It means that we need to push. The sound and to be super modern. That's my idea.
It's very interesting you say that. There are a couple of artists that I think about when I hear these things, is like Richie Ozzy, which is like completely immersed in his technology. And sometimes he has a very, very interesting ideas of how music should be. It's completely like technology. You might not even like the music because it's slightly different that like the underground techno that perhaps we play. But he has a very
it's different. He's a pioneer, and Richie Ozzy. I was super fan of Richie Ozzy. I'm still super fan of Richie Ozzy, and I really like that. Also, if he's super famous now, he still wants to make something new with technology, with new gear, new way to perform live set. No, it's great. I'm super. Also, sometimes there are a lot of talking about vinyl and digital. So, if you are DJ, of course you like vinyl. You should be able to play with vinyl, but the time is changing and the way to perform are changing. So. Why we should be stuck on the vinyl, or it's cool also to be open on digital way to perform, to make music, and that's great actually. So I think it's the modern techno is modern because of the digital software, the digital CDJ, also Tractor is a great tool for playing live, different playing like DJ set. Of course, if you use Tractor just to play one track and after the new one, it's stupid, of course. But Tractor gives you the opportunity to make something really fresh and different. Of course, it's not more beat matching with vinyl. There is no more the touch and the feeling that you are touching a vinyl. That is completely different, but it's also maybe in some point of view it's also harder. It's not so
to play vinyl.
To play with Tractor in a complex way. Yeah. Because you need to manage 4 tracks, maybe some effects. It's not so easy actually. You don't have to beat match the tracks, but it's still something.
And I think Rishi does a very good job in that. Like that's his thing.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm not super fan of the music now, but about the technical part is great.
It's great.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I think what you said it resonates a lot because I think it brings another new level. Like it's not necessarily better than playing just vinyl. It's a different thing.
It's a different thing. It's completely different. But I would say that it's better a digital set actually now. I would say that is. But of course, my vinyl is still important. I'm producing vinyl. I love vinyl. And it's also fun to play vinyl. But yeah, digital for me is also in production. I'm into modular recently, and I have also with the live. But also my setup, modular setup, I have one digital oscillator that's great, and granulizer that is digital, of course. So a lot of modules that I have on the setup are digital. So also hardware doesn't mean that it's analog. So also because analog synthesizers are great, of course, but it's still the same sound. The techno born with the
analog stuff, the 303.
303, so it's time to move on for me. Or use in a really futuristic way. Or use them in a really futuristic way.
Completely, and I think that it's like this accessibility that technology has given the world is a beautiful thing because it's bringing like another
but the word techno means came from technology. So now, for example, there is a trend of 90, trend of acid. Of course, there are trends. If you like techno, you like acid, of course, because it's part of the techno. It's techno acid, but I think it's not really connected to the word techno because acid was. You can play acid, of course. It's great, but a lot of the best acid track were done like in the 90s, like for example, Alpha Wave from Plastic Man, we were talking about Rishi Odin, is 93. Yeah. And I think it's almost impossible to make a better track, acid track than the remix from System 7 from Plastic Man. So this trend now is pretty far from my idea, I would say, my idea of techno.
From the origin. And it's this thing of like trends, like it's interesting to see how things go back sometimes.
Yeah, go back, of course.
They go back and forth, there's a new artist and then that stuff.
Even, because sometimes the new generation, because of course even the rave party, the rave mood is something that the new generation, they don't really saw actually. So they, maybe they want to have that period back, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and maybe this is the reason, because it's a really important part of techno, acid and 90 period, and the new generation, they didn't. I actually didn't.
We didn't experience that.
Experience that period, but maybe they want to have this kind of feeling, ravey feeling. Yeah.
And it's new for them, like for them.
Yeah, it's completely new for them. Actually.
It's a new experience.
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
a new experience.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's a cycle. So sometimes
it goes back.
You go back, and sometimes you go forward. Yeah, music. It's crazy. I'm not really I'm not really sure that I like that. Techno recently is following too much the trend, and I think techno has to be the alternative answer from the mainstream music. That's what I'm not really like.
I think the challenge now is that we live in a world where social media dominate everything.
And everything is super fast with social media.
Everything is super fast, exactly. Like if someone does a track, everybody somehow shares the track. Go for it. Everybody shares the same track, and then it becomes like what everybody looks at as an example. You see something that is becoming very famous, and that becomes like a reference point.
Yeah, that's true, but it's also, it's not easy to analyze this situation, because social media it's a great thing, of course. You can promote, you can stay in contact with, it's nice, but sometimes really they create a fake reality of the situation, because it's also true that a lot of people, they like what they got, what they get so they are not really into experimentation, into get deep on music. So that's what now a lot of party and festival are proposing, and that's what they like. But of course, for example, melody, trance is because of melodies, has melodies inside, and it's normal that melodies attract more people than just hypnotic sound. Right. So it's normal. Trance was super big at the time, like 15, 20 years ago. Also because there are melody, so it's normal, because you can also sing if you want a track with a melody. I like melody. I like also trance. I did some track. There is a track of the Weird War remix. There is a synth, is a kind of psytrance synth line. So I like also some part of the trance. But I think there are two different kinds of music. So now I think if you like this trance techno, it's not techno. You like trance. They should be different party. They should be in a different situation. That's my opinion, actually.
And it's interesting, because I think it's becoming almost like a different genre. Like
exactly. That's what I mean.
It's living like a new life. It's,
and with social media, we were talking about social media there. So that everything with social media is super fast, and but sometimes I told you before that sometimes it can be tricky, because social media create a lot of confusion, and you can be lost in a real strange situation with social media. Yeah.
Because it's what we see in social media is usually like a made-up part of
exactly. Yeah, so for example, also a personal Instagram profile. You just show what you want to show, what is the best part of your life, but it's not the reality actually. So you want to show this, you want to show that, but it's not your life. And
you don't see
some people, you don't see the reality, and that's the same from the music actually. So, and social media is the new television actually, and television is fake. Also, it can be good, of course, if you have good TV movie or a TV series, but it's not the reality. And social media pretend to be the reality.
Because it becomes if your attention is always on the same thing, you see that everybody's having fun. You open your phone,
exactly.
Everybody's living
the amazing life.
And you're in your room, struggling.
It's really hard. I think it's getting. I don't want to be really bad in a bad mood about social media to put a bad. But it's weird the situation.
You mentioned that it's a tool. It's a great tool.
It's a great tool. Yeah, like everything. It can be cool or bad, depend how you want to use it.
Exactly.
That's the main.
It's dangerous because it's highly addictive. People get addicted to too much.
But even also the addiction that some it's now is a. It's a gesture that you open. It's like a kind of I don't know.
Scroll, yeah.
Yeah, scroll. But if you think maybe 5-6 years ago, we were more into Facebook than into Instagram, and just because the trend moved from Facebook to Instagram, we don't care now so much about Facebook, more about Instagram. So also this kind of addiction that is. Yeah. There is an addiction. Is sometimes is some people put the addiction in your mind. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
because in the end, like there's a huge market, like the platform itself.
It's the biggest company.
Exactly. Yeah. Their business is essentially grabbing your attention and distracting you from other stuff and spending more time.
Exactly.
So yeah,
it's more what you want to show that what you are doing really.
Exactly.
In the reality. So.
Yeah. You don't often see like when you struggle, you're like
exactly. And in music, it can create a lot of weird situations with music, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it. Of course, it's bad in some point of view. It's good in some other. So depends how you use, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, it's a big part of our lives, and we need to be
definitely big part.
Careful as well. And talking about your personal life, like I know you are into sports as well.
Yeah, not so much in this moment. But I used to. I like sport. Yeah, kickboxing. 16, 17 years now, with some stop also because the DJ life is not really easy to manage the DJ life with sport life, of course. But it's really important to have sport in general. Helps the mind, of course, not just the body.
Keeps you in balance.
Yeah, it keeps you in balance. Keeps you in a healthy condition, of course. And they're really, really important. And also, I like, for example, kickboxing because there is a lot of technique behind kickboxing. There is a lot of concentration also. It's not just. And of course, it's really connected to the physical condition because if you are out of condition, you have a technique, but
you struggle,
but it's more or less like music. You need a lot of time practicing like the technique, and it's more or less the same philosophy behind, and it's really important for the mind, of course.
It is, I remember, I think you and I met the first time in Rome.
We were together actually.
In the gym, exactly.
In the gym,
I remember.
I remember when you were moving in London actually.
Exactly, there was a year I was moving to London and you were doing kickboxing, I was doing Muay Thai. Somehow we did a session together, I don't remember.
Yeah, because sometimes I made the same course of you in Muay Thai because I have some race, some match, and I needed more time to train.
And so you did a double shift.
Double shift sometimes, I was really into before, now a bit less.
It's amazing, And like one question that keeps coming up, like for people in the techno scene, is like how do you keep balance between like going to clubs, perhaps playing, and also like doing healthy life? It can be sports or like eating healthy.
It's tough. It's tough, of course. But for example, I'm 33 years old. I'm not used to party a lot every weekend, of course. I still like, of course, definitely. But but it helps to have a balance, of course. If you can make party, but maybe you take something more from the food. You know what I mean? So
you eat better.
You eat better, and that's. Me and my girlfriend, so we are trying to eat less meat as possible recently. I love meat actually, but just not for the body, also for the philosophy behind. And it's not so easy to have a super healthy life, and
gig every week.
Gig every week, and also not just from the point of view of alcohol and everything, also because you sleep bad, not so much, and sometimes it changes the mood.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm really tired after some gigs because I maybe slept like just 3 hours and everything, or maybe 0, and I feel really weird, depressed and everything.
It's impressive. Like when I'm tired as well, like your state of mind like changes completely. You become very nervous or
Completely
negative
nervous.
as well.
Yeah, negative. You see everything bad. It's complete. Yeah, it's really hard. Sometimes don't sleep at all. The body. For the body is really bad actually.
It is very bad. Yeah. And sometimes like when you play, like you need to deliver in the next set. So you're tired, but you need to. Go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a job actually.
It's a job.
It's like a job. It's a nice job, of course, but it's still a job, of course.
It is, yeah. And a couple of more questions. I know you need to go and play.
Yeah.
And it's one thing that I was really interested is like, how do you keep playing gigs? And so, what is something that people can learn from you, perhaps? Like, how do you keep yourself in the promoter side, noticed by promoter, and to play more gigs? I know you have a residency, Disconnect in Berlin. So you play there often?
Yeah, that's, for example, in the case of my residence for Disconnect is because I like the label and to build a crew, it's cool to have, we are friends first. We are friends with promoters and the booker, all the crew of Disconnect. We were friends before, we are still friends now. And I like their philosophy and I like to be part on this project, and we help each other actually, you know.
Yeah.
And no, that's great. It's a teamwork, no?
Right. You play, you support each other.
Yeah, we support each other. We respect each other, and and we share opinion. So I'm going to make the launch party of the label with Disconnect in Berlin in December. So I suggest them some lineup, and that's great. So it's work together for the same project. That's great. Also the residency, I like. I really like. Yeah. Especially if you have like a friendship or something in common with the crowd, with the team, of course.
With the team, which is similar to what you were saying about your roster. When you have your label, you want to have something long term. You want to have a project with people you share music with. And in terms of like to get more noticed by promoters, for promoters to book you, is there something that people you think can do better, can do differently?
I don't know. This is a tough question actually, because sometimes music is art, and when you make music, is because you want to be yourself with music, you know. And actually, if you pretend to be something else just because you want to be booked from some promoters, it works, but it's not the best way actually. Of course, there are some short way to get more booking. There are short ways, but in the long term, this is not. I think it's not. So I think you need to be yourself and everything, and you can have super good moments, super bad moments, and
at some point, I mean, yeah, exactly. If someone likes you.
So of course, for example, social media, you need to promote a lot. Yeah, you need to be. Yeah, that's actually cool. You need the people that are following you. They really wants to have more information about you, about what you are doing. So maybe just to be active in the social media is one.
To be
not
visible.
Not so much, but in a normal way, it's a cool. But yeah, it's. You don't know to make some. You don't have to act in a specific way just because you want to be booked. So that's the main things.
Amazing. I think it's super important to be true and do your own thing.
Yeah, also because if you want to be something else, it doesn't work, I think.
Yeah, long time. Like,
even in a short time, it doesn't really work. Actually.
It probably doesn't make you happy. Like it's a shortcut, but you're
it's a shock. Yeah, exactly. At the end, it's not the way for the happiness, definitely.
So guys, if you're listening, be true to yourself.
That's the secret.
Last two questions. This is a random question that we're asking to everyone essentially. If you were not doing music, what would you do? can be anything, like cooking or running, kickboxing.
Yeah, maybe a teacher of kickboxing of some sport, and I don't know. Yeah, there are a lot of things. For example, fireman. Yeah, it would be great actually. Yeah, fireman. Yeah.
Nice.
I have a
You like
lot
the
of
uniform?
respect. No, it's great. We need to thank to these
help
people.
people,
Yeah.
yeah.
They help people. They
Save
risk their
lives.
life actually sometimes. So maybe it's one. And yeah, I don't know. A lot of different things, but yeah, be a fireman is the main way.
Nice.
Why not?
Nice. And so you mentioned your VSK series, which is doing the first record as the time we are speaking. We're doing actually the showcase. You're doing it in London, where people can find the record, the release, more about the label.
Yeah, we got a small delay from some problem with the pressing plant, but I think in a week, 10 days maximum, you can find on everywhere, like Dex, Juno, DJ.de, and I have my Bandcamp page, of course, and in the release date is gonna be tomorrow, actually, but the official. But yeah, we got like some small delay, of course, and I hope that you can find in the best shops online or also physical shops.
Yes.
So that's, and digital, of course, on Beatport and everything. So.
We'll make sure to put all the links in the show
Thank
notes.
you very much. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much for the request and for having me.
It's been a pleasure, and we look forward to hearing more from the VSK series and your music.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Amazing, man.